Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I'm your host, that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. Four continents down, two more to go. No cap, straight facts. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about me. See, we have a special event going on tomorrow, and it's actually WWE NXT No Mercy, and we have six great matches going on, each with a lot of build up behind them, a lot of excitement going behind them, and we can't wait. Um, NXT this time, NXT No Mercy this time will be emanating from the FTL War Memorial. I believe that's short for um, the Fort Lauderdale War Memorial, and it'll actually um, be obviously, it'll actually be in the great city of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Shout out to all my peeps over there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Fun fact: I used to live in Fort Lauderdale for 7 years. It's a great place. As long as you have a car, the sky's the limit, and there's a lot you can do over there. But it's great that they're actually getting a chance to have a show over there, a PLE over there, and we're looking forward to it. I know my boy Chris Cartwright, and our alumni guest, our alumni 15 minutes of fandom guest Salvador Santoyo, the Ghetto Country Chicano. Um, and I don't know if I could say Chicano, if that's politically correct. If I offend anybody, my apologies. That's what he calls himself, but um I know they're going to be enjoying. I know most likely they're going to be front and center for that show as well. And also my homeboy Novak Clegane, he's probably going to be over there too, checking it out. So yeah, those y'all in Fort Lauderdale for this show, congratulations. Um, enjoy it, live it up. Make so much noise that they're gonna be like, you know what, we got a great reception, and we're definitely gonna double back here soon. So shout out to y'all for that. But we have six great matches. I believe last year it was kept in Denver, Colorado. So yeah, big moves, man. Like to see NXT going on the road, but we have six great matches, and with that being said, I'm actually gonna get into them. And what I would like for y'all to do, those of you that are listening and watching, don't be shy. You can give your own opinions as well. I'm all by myself. I don't have my two co-hosts with me, so I wouldn't mind the company. If you want to, just tag along in the comment section and give your own opinions, by all means, let me know. What's good? What's good, Trey? Hey, Trey. Shout out to Trey, our um, our 15 minutes of final alumni guest, who recently made his debut. Trey, we're gonna get you on the show real soon. We're gonna talk about that match you had. Congratulations on deciding to get into the business as a wrestler. Not a lot of fans will do that. Not a lot of fans are successful doing that. Because they're fans that go to, even when they say they're going to get into it, they go to wrestling school, and after a couple of weeks, they drop out. So shout out to you for making that happen. And so we have six great matches going on here, and I'm going to get into it. So the first match we have is a singles match, and man, this match is gonna have definitely gonna have a lot of action, definitely gonna have a lot of like anger, going with it, because we have one guy who is definitely bound to be a star, but he just keeps getting, he just can't get to the next level yet. And we have another guy who has the potential, in my opinion, but for some reason he's just missing that one it factor, and that's it. And I'm talking about Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. Javon being the guy who is destined for greatness, but he was getting knocked back a peg or two. He actually was doing great against Over Family. Unfortunately, he lost. And then when he was about to say what happened, Josh Briggs got into his feelings and decided to attack him. and it set off a whole feud right there. They wrestled one time before this, and Josh Briggs got the win um, with the help of an illegal object. But now they're going to run that back again. And from what I heard, I didn't get to see SmackDown yet, but from what I heard, Javon Evans answered Sami Zayn's challenge, U.S. Open challenge. So this guy is definitely going to go places. And I know right now the great folks at Firestar Pro Wrestling, they're smiling ear to ear with the success of him, and several of their other students. So who I think is going to win this match, honestly, I think it's going to be Javon Evans. Javon is destined to be that guy, and I think he's going to make it happen. He's definitely going to get the win. So that's who I'm going with. The next match we have, and this is another thing, is Josh Briggs. I just don't see Josh Briggs getting the W. In my opinion, I think Josh Briggs will be better off just and I would like to see that reforming that tag team that him and Jensen had. That the two of them had, and just and even bring back Fallon Henley and just have them be like a heel stable. I'd like to see that. So the next match we have is a weaponized cage match. It's going to be the Juggernaut Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. Man, this is a tough match, but something? I'm gonna have to give it to Blake Monroe. The Blake Monroe that we saw, that I know, is not afraid to bleed. She is not afraid to get busted open, and we've seen that when she fought Toni Storm. We have two pretty women. You wouldn't even think that they're capable of doing that. Both of them they look like these Marilyn Monroe. Matter of fact, I believe if to put it correctly, it would have they look like Marilyn Monroe, and I forgot who her rival was. She had a rival back in the day. Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield. We got these two women that look like Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield. And I jokingly said, if those two were to throw hands at each other, that's what we would have got. That's what we would have gotten. Something like Toni Storm and Mariah May. But in all honesty, after seeing that, I have a lot of respect for Mariah May. And as much as I have a lot of respect for Jordan Grace as well, because this woman has worked her tail off to get to where she is, I'm going to have to give it to Blake Monroe, because I think this is a foreign land that Jordan Grace is in. And Blake, after I saw that promo of her pretty much shedding the whole glamorous part of her, I think we're going to see a crazy side of her. So I'm going to give it to Blake Monroe. So the next match we have, the singles match for the NXT North American Championship, is going to be the defending champion Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights. Now, Tavion is a very talented dude. I saw him put an ankle lock on Ethan Page recently, and it's no joke. But Ethan Page is a veteran, and he's vicious. And I gotta say, honestly, I think Ethan Page is gonna pull it off. He's gonna find some way to pull it off, and he's gonna get that win. And it's gonna lead to a champion versus champion match between him and Dr. Wagner Jr. I'll get into that later on. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Ethan Page for the win. All right, so the next match we have is a singles match for the Women's Speed Championship. It's going to be the defending champion Sol Ruka with Zarya versus Lainey Reed. Lainey Reed has pretty much she's risen to the occasion rapidly. I mean, when I first saw her, she was on Level Up. Then she was on NXT, well, not NXT, WWE Evolve. And now she's here, stepping up, to face, the women of NXT. And I got a feeling she's going to get this win. And, I think Zarya is going to cost her. I think Zarya is going to cost her, going to cost Sol Ruka the match. just based off of what happened recently when Sol Ruka accidentally hit her with that soul snatcher. Unless of course Shayna Baszler's words got through to them, I think we might see the beginning of the end here between Zarya and Sol Ruka. But I'm gonna go with Lainey Reed to get the championship. The next match we have is a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. It's going to be the defending champion, JC Jane, with Fallon Henley versus Lola Vice. And I know my boy Chris Cartwright is going to be cheering loudly for Lola Vice because that's his hometown, his fellow South Floridian. And man, just imagine the pop she would get if she actually won. And I'm gonna have to go with, so as much as that would be great, JC Jane has worked hard to prove herself that she's not a paper champion. And I mean, it's true. I mean, the woman's been in the business since 2018, 2017. So she's not some newbie that actually trained at the NXT, performance center straight off the indies. Well, straight out of college or whatnot. I mean, she's been in the indies for a hot minute. I remember when she was just starting out and she had the rocker gimmick. And I even got to see her wrestle at a Shine event live, and Homegirl's pretty good. As talented as Lola Vice is, and as determined as she is, I still think JC Jane's going to get the win. And the reason why I think is because recently we lost a member of Fatal Influence. It was it was actually Jasmine Nix that we lost, and she, of course, we all know that was actually them writing her off to leave WWE. And, there's now a spot open. So I think what's going to happen, we are definitely going to see Lainey, we're definitely going to see Lainey Reed from the previous match with Sol Ruka get involved in that match and become the new member of Fatal Influence. I got this vibe. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I got this vibe that that's where they're going towards, her joining that group. And it wouldn't hurt her either. I mean, it would benefit her. And plus besides, it could always be, she was the one that took out Jasmine Nix to prove that Jasmine was a weaker link, and she'd be the better choice for Fatal Influence. So that's what I'll go with. JC Jane to retain at NXT No Mercy. Although it's going to be a heck of a fight between her and Lola Vice. Although if Lola Vice does win, I wouldn't be against that either. That'd be cool because South Florida's going to go crazy with her getting the win. So the last match we have, the main events of WWE NXT No Mercy, it's going to be a singles match for the NXT Championship. It's going to be the defending champion Obafemi versus Ricky Saints. Man, Ricky Saints is one determined guy. He's one tough guy, but you can't deny the prowess of the ring prowess of Obafemi. This guy, man, I'm looking forward to seeing this guy face Gunther, and I hope it happens soon. This guy can definitely go, and he has proven for the better part of the year why he is that dude. Obafemi is no joke. And I just hope that when he gets to the main roster, he doesn't end up, fading into obscurity. He ends up, becoming, what he ends up having the same momentum he had on NXT on the main roster. I'm going to be brave and say Ricky Saints is going to get this W. Ricky Saints is going to be that guy to get the win. That's what I'm going to be brave and say. So, yeah, I'm going Ricky Saints to get that dub. But yeah, that's I don't know. For some reason, something's telling me, it's gonna be all Ricky Saints. So, and I mean, it wouldn't be bad. It definitely wouldn't be bad for him. I mean, Ricky Saints is hella talented. he has the charisma. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Obafemi, I think it's time for him to go to the main roster. I think it's time for him to show them why he's that guy and show off the power over there. I just hope they book him right now. I just hope that they actually don't waste him up there. So that was the card for NXT No Mercy. If y'all have any predictions of your own, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. We're gonna try to get some polls up tomorrow for NXT No Mercy. But yeah, those are my predictions. The only thing I could say in terms of general predictions, the only thing I could actually say is that I think the aftermath. This is going to lead to Ethan Page versus Dr. Wagner Jr. Dr. Wagner Jr. is the Latin America champion, and Ethan Page is the North America champion. So I could see Ethan Page having that match, and then he finally beats Dr. Wagner Jr. And then he proclaims himself the champion of the Americas, since he has both the North American and the Latin American title. So I could see that happening, and that'd be a great thing for him. So that's the only thing I have right now. So with that being said, those are my predictions once again. Um, yeah, man, this is definitely gonna be an awesome show. So with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, um, you know, if you want to follow us on social, if you want to follow me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a lot of cool places. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy. Oh, and TikTok at the Remy Blue. You can find me on Blue Sky as at the Remy Blue Social, and I'm also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. Our podcast on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. And we're also on Spotify and Teespring, where we sell our official Ringside Society merch. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we even have coffee mugs. So check out our store. We have 3 designs. We have more coming soon. And like I always say, all proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can see great shows like this one, like our predictions we did for AEW All Out and WWE's Clash in Paris. You can see all those. You can see all those great shows on. Oh no! Oh, my bad. And also WrestlePalooza, our predictions for WrestlePalooza as well. You can see all those episodes on YouTube, and to see them, it's really simple. It's not rocket science. It's not even pre-algebra. Just go on YouTube and type in Ringside Society. I want you to see that really good-looking dark blue, or light blue, yin yang sound, the blue flames around it. That's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all the videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing, like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning live tonight. Thank you very much. We really truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to, and we're not going to stop being that. To those of you that are going to listen later on, you get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself and Gordon Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. So with that being said, I'm gonna say right now, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for WWE NXT No Mercy. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back next week with another impressive guest, another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all, just 4. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.